Namaste, hello. I am Megan Hollis, and today I'm going to be doing my Asana section of my 200-hour yoga teacher training exam. Before I get started, I just want to say a huge thank you for teaching me the amazing classes. I learned so much about yoga and about myself, and I really, really enjoyed it. So thank you for giving up your time to do that. You've been so kind and amazing, and really just lovely to allow me to kind of do it at my own pace. So thank you. Today I'm going to be guiding you through an Ashtanga Vinyasa yoga style class with some sun salutations, some other variations of poses, and then we're going to finish in Shavasana. So it's going to be really nice. Coming to a comfortable Sukhasana. So it's comfortable, seated, cross-legged, seated position on your mat. You're going to have the knees in line with the hips if possible, and your feet underneath the knees, taking your fingertips into the calf sit, which is just fingertips touching the mat like so, and pressing up into your fingertips, lift through the chest, closing down the eyes. Inhale, rolling the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, dropping them down. Feeling that lovely space across the chest and into the back as you take some deep breaths. Grounding into the practice. Now you can take the hands to heart center in the Namaskara Mudra. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo, Mahasvara, Guru Saksat, Para Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Feeling the chant in your body as you bow the head down to the hands. Slowly opening the eyes, coming back and coming to stand at the top of your mat. I'm just going to adjust my camera so you can see me a bit better. Going to stand at the top of your mat into Samasthiti, so hands by the side of the legs, palms facing forwards. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale, taking the hands up above the head, bending the body back. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, lift the chest, straighten the spine. Exhale, stepping the left leg back, then the right, moving down, bending your elbows, moving up to Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog, holding here for 5 breaths. 1, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, bending the knees, looking to the hands. Exhale, stepping the left foot forwards. Then the right. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, hands all the way up to the sky, bending the body back. Exhale, Samasthiti. You go again. Inhale, hands up to the sky, bending the body back. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, lift the chest, straightening the spine. Exhale, hands down, this time sticking the right leg back, then the left. Coming down through Chaturanga, bending the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, pressing back to downward facing dog. Holding here for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, bending the knees, looking at the space between the hands, stepping the right foot forwards, then the left. Inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, fold the body forward. Inhale all the way up to the sky, hands up, bending the body back. Exhale, hands down, Samasthiti. Time for a third round of Saraya Namaskara A. Inhale, arms up to the sky, bending the body back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift through the chest, fingertips to the mat. Exhale, and now this time you can step or jump back to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Holding here for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, bending through legs. You can step or jump your way forwards to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands to the sky, bend the body back. Exhale, Samasthiti. 4th time. Inhale, hands to the sky, bend the body back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift to the chest, fingertips to the mat. Exhale, step or jump your way back to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold for 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, bending through the knees. Jump forwards to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Final round of Saraya Namaskara A. Inhale, arms to sky, bending the body back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, step or jump back to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Holding here for 5 deep breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, bending the legs, stepping or jumping forwards to the hands. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale all the way up, bend the body back. Exhale, Samasthiti. And now we're going to move through 5 rounds of Saraya Namaskara B. Inhale, lifting the hands up to the sky, bending the body back. Exhale, bending the knees and coming into chair pose. You want to get your bottom as in line with your knees as possible, but making sure that the knees do not go over the ankles. Holding here. Taking the hands down to the mat, straightening out through the legs, stepping or jumping the body back to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking the right foot out to 45 degrees, stepping the left foot forwards in between the hands, coming up to warrior 1. Hands up to the sky. Bending the body back slightly, hold. Taking the arms down, stepping the left foot back, bending the elbows, moving to chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Then we go on the other side, the left foot turns out 45, stepping the right foot forwards in between the hands up to the sky, bending the body back. Taking the hands down, stepping the right foot back, bending through the elbows, coming to upward facing dog, downward facing dog, and hold for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stepping or jumping the feet forwards to the hands. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up to the sky, bend the body back. Exhale, Samasthiti. We go again. Inhale, hands up to the sky, bend the body back. Exhale, bending through the knees, sitting back as if you're sitting on a chair. Hands up to the sky still. Exhale, hands down, straightening through the legs, lifting the spine. Exhale, hands to the mat, stepping or jumping back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Holding here, taking the right foot out 45 degrees, stepping the left foot between the hands up to the sky, coming into warrior 1. Bending the body back slightly if you feel able to do so. Hands down to the mat, framing the left foot, stepping it back, bending through the elbows, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Taking the left foot out to 45 degrees, stepping the right foot in between the hands up to the sky, bending the body back if that feels good. Otherwise, just staying here, staying strong in this posture. Keeping the back leg as straight as possible and trying to get the back heel down onto the mat. Hands down, framing the right foot, stepping it back, coming through chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog, holding here, 5 breaths. Inhale, bending the legs, stepping or jumping the feet forwards. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms all the way up to the sky, bending the body back. Exhale, Samasthiti. 3rd round. Inhale, hands to the sky, bending the body back. Exhale, bending the knees, coming into chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Straighten the legs. Inhale, lift the spine. Exhale, hands to the mat, stepping or jumping, feet back, the legs back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, opening through the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot goes 45, left foot comes between the hands up to the sky. Then the body back slightly. Hands down to the mat, framing the left foot, stepping it back, coming through chaturanga. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Turning the left foot 45, right foot coming in between the hands coming up to the sky like so. Bending the body back slightly, and hands come down, framing the right foot, stepping it back, high plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog, holding here for 5 breaths. Inhale, bend through the legs, looking towards the hands. Exhale, step or jump forwards, lift the chest, forward fold. Inhale, hands all the way up to the sky, bend the body back. Exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale, hands coming all the way up to the sky, bend the body back. Exhale, bending the knees here, sitting back. Exhale, coming forwards, straightening the legs, lifting the spine. Now stepping or jumping the body back, chaturanga, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Turning the right foot 45, left foot coming in between the hands, hands up to the sky, bending the body back a little bit. Now hands frame the left foot, stepping the left leg back to high plank, lowering down through chaturanga. Inhale, lift through the chest, upward facing dog. Exhale, push it back, the downward facing dog. Turning the left foot 45, right foot stepping in between the hands, hands coming up to the sky here, bending the body back slightly. You can connect the palms of your hands above your head. Then now the feet coming down, framing the right foot, stepping the right foot back to high plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Holding here for 5 breaths. In your downward facing dog, you want to have your feet hip width apart and to be spreading wide through the fingers so that your little finger is connecting with the outside edge of your mat. Bending the knees, looking in between the hands, stepping or jumping the feet to the top of the mat. Lift through the chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming all the way up, bending the body back. Exhale, Samasthiti. This is the 5th and final round of Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, hands up to the sky. Surya Namaskara B, bending the body back. Exhale, bending through the knees, coming into chair. Inhale, body forward, straighten the legs, lifting through the chest. Taking the hands down, stepping or jumping. Feet back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Turning the right foot 45, left foot coming between the hands, hands up to the sky. Holding here. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Stepping the left foot back, bending through the elbows, lowering yourself down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot goes 45, right foot comes in between the hands, hands coming up to the sky. Hands coming down, framing the right foot, stepping it back to high plank, lowering down through chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, holding here. 5 breaths. Now bending through the legs, looking to the top of the mat, jumping the feet forwards. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, bend the body back. Exhale, Samasthiti. Taking a few deep breaths here at the top of your mat before we come into Trikonasana. Taking the right leg up to the chest, stepping it back so feet are quite wide apart here. You are going to turn the left foot 90 degrees to the left and the right foot 45 to the left as well. You want to keep your chest and your hips facing forwards. Taking the arms up to shoulder height,
You're going to slowly, slowly, slowly bend your way forward, bending the arm down to the mat, keeping the chest open. You can take your arm on your shin, your ankle, or the mat, or use a block. And feel this lovely stretch through your side body, keeping the chest open and straight. You can take your gaze up to the sky if that feels good. Making sure not to send your hips forward or back. Keep the chest open, holding here for 5 breaths. Breathing in and out through the nose. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now coming up, pushing into that right foot to bring you up center, hands coming out. Now you're going to go into the second variation of Trikonasana. So keeping the feet in the same positions, bending the body forwards, but this time you're going to catch hold of the outside of your left calf with the right hand and take the left arm up to the sky here. Keeping the feet in the same position, keeping the hips open, we hold for 5 breaths. 2, taking the gaze up to the sky if that feels possible. If you wobble, if you fall, that's okay. If you need to grab a block for some support, that's okay. Okay, coming out, pressing into that foot again, coming back up to center, taking the feet, facing forwards again. This time you're going to turn the right foot 90 degrees, left foot 45. And again, keeping the hips and the chest to center, sending. The right arm down, catching hold of your shin, your ankle, or the floor, wherever you want to be, wherever you can be. And looking up to the sky, if that feels possible, feeling that lovely stretch down your inner thigh of the right leg. Holding here for 5 breaths again. 3, 4, 5. Pressing into the left foot to bring yourself up. You should never press onto any of your leg to help you do this. Press into the foot. We're going to go into the second variation again. So this time bending forward and catch hold of the outside of your right calf with the left hand and open your chest to the sky like so. Holding here for 5 breaths again. If it's hard, you can grab a block for some support. 3, 4, 5. Coming back up to center, taking both feet to face forwards, keeping the arms at shoulder height. Turning the left foot 90, stepping the right foot into the chest, taking it down, Samasthiti. Taking a deep breath here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. We're going to move through 1 round of Surya Namaskara A here. Inhale, hands up to the sky. Exhale, bend the body back. Inhale, exhale, hands down to the mat. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, step or jump back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look to the top of the mat, look between the hands. Step, jump the feet forwards. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands all the way up to the sky, bend the body back. Exhale, Samasthiti. Now, taking your right leg up to the chest again and stepping it out so your feet are mat width apart. We're going to come into Prasarita Padottanasana. So we're going to come into the first variation. So for this, you want your feet wider than hip width apart. You're going to bend the body forwards, like so, taking the heel of the hand in line with the heel of the foot. Holding here 5 breaths, taking the feet wider if that feels good. Completely relaxing through your head and your neck in this pose. Feeling that lovely stretch down the back, down the hamstrings of both legs. 3, 4, 5, coming back up. We're going to come into the second variation. So taking the hands to the hips, inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, forward fold, drop it down. Holding here for 5 breaths, keeping the chest wide, not letting the elbows drop in or the spine hunch. 2, 3, 4, 5, coming back up. Now catching hold of the knuckles like this, interlacing the fingers but behind the back. Inhale, lift through the spine, open through the chest. Exhale, folding forwards, letting the hands drop over the back here, opening through the shoulders. Making sure to not hyper extend your legs, allowing a little bit of a micro bend. And again, we're holding for 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming back up to standing, letting go of the hands. We're going to come into Prasarita Padottanasana D. So folding the body forwards, you're going to catch hold of the outside of the calves with both hands, or the ankles, and pull your body forwards, bending through the elbows here. Getting that lovely stretch down your hamstrings. Holding again, 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands down to the mat, pushing yourself up to standing. Turn the left foot 90 degrees, stepping the right foot into the chest, dropping it down. Sarastahiti, inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Inhale, hands to the sky. We're going to move through 1 round of Surya Namaskara A. Exhale, fold the body forwards. Inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, step or jump back, chaturanga, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we're now going to come into our seated posture. So bending the knees, looking to the hands. You're going to jump through to seated. So you're going to cross your legs in mid-air, like so. If this is not possible for you, then you can step forwards to a comfortable cross-legged seated position. I'm going to move my camera so you can see me. So we are going to come into Pashimo Panasana. So taking both legs straight in front of you. There are 3 variations of Pashimo Panasana that we're going to work through today. So inhale, hands to the sky, lifting through the chest. Exhale, forward fold. And you're going to take your index finger and your middle finger together and catch them round both big toes. So folding the body forward like so, bending through your elbows. If these fingers cannot reach your big toes because you don't have as much flexibility in your legs, that's completely fine. What you can do is catch hold of the ankles, the thighs, or just wherever you can on your legs or on the mat, and that's fine.
make sure that you are keeping the spine straight in this posture. Bending through the elbows if you need to. Holding for 5 breaths here. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. 2. 3. 4. 5. Coming up. We're going to take the hands by your buttocks, pressing into the hands, bending the legs, crossing the legs over, pressing into the hands to lift, taking the hands in front, jumping back, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Now again, stepping or jumping your feet through to seated and taking the legs out in front of you. We're going to go into Pashimo Panasana B. So for this, inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward folding, catching hold of the outside of your feet with the hands, keeping the spine as straight as possible. Again, if you can't reach there, just catch anywhere you want to on your legs. Five deep breaths here. 4. 5. Again, coming up. Exhale, hands down to the mat, pressing the hands into the ground, bending the legs in, taking the feet down to the mat, press into the hands, take the hands in front, jump back, chaturanga, inhale, upward facing dog, exhale, downward facing dog. Now bending your knees, looking to the top of the mat, either stepping or jumping, feet forward to seated and taking the legs out in front of you. We're going to come into Pashimo Panasana C. So what you're going to do, inhale, arms up to the sky, and then exhale, interlace the fingers and take the hands behind the feet like this. If you cannot reach the feet, that is absolutely fine. Holding here for 5 deep breaths. 1. Closing down the eyes if that feels good. 2. 3. 4. 5. Coming back up. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, hands down by the buttocks. Pressing into the hands, taking the legs up. Crossing the legs, pressing the feet into the mat. Hands in front of the feet. Jumping back, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Now bending into the legs and jumping the feet forward to seated. Now going to come into a counter pose for Pashimo Panasana, which is called Asana. So taking the legs out in front of you, placing the fingertips a little bit behind your buttocks, the fingertips facing forward. And now you're going to press into the palms of your hands and into your feet to push your body back, push the body up rather, into this posture. We're going to hold 5 breaths. And this posture stretches out through your shoulder blades and chest, stretches your front body. And Pashimo Panasana, which we just did, stretches your back body and the backs of your legs. 2 more breaths.
and 5. Coming down. Placing the hands by the buttocks, lifting the legs up, crossing them over, feet down to the mat, hands in front, stepping or jumping back, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Okay, again, stepping or jumping your way through to seated, taking the legs out in front of you, and we're going to come down to the mat for Shavasana. So, taking the feet hip width apart, allowing the hands to drop out, palms facing upward, closing down the eyes, and taking some deep breaths as we come to the end of our practice. Allowing your body to completely relax, to completely melt into the mat. Staying present. If your mind wanders, and it will, just bring it back to the breath, bring it back to the body and sensations within the body. Being fully present, fully here. Now feeling your body completely relax, bringing
your legs together, your feet together, stretching the arms up over your head, feeling a huge stretch throughout your whole body. Now rolling over to one side and holding here for a few seconds, taking a few deep breaths before you push yourself up to seated, keeping the eyes closed, taking the hands to the center of the chest. Namaskara Mudra. Bowing the head down to the hands. Slowly, slowly blinking open the eyes, taking the gaze a short distance in front of you before you fully open the eyes and look up. Namaste. Thank you so much. I hope that you enjoyed that, and just thank you for this amazing course. Yeah, bye. That stopped.